This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 12 South PlugBug Slim, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. If you find this video helpful, make sure you subscribe so we can continue making content to help you travel smarter. Let's dive in. So the exterior casing on this thing is a plastic and it has a matte finish, which I really dig because it's not like shiny or anything like that. And not that that's a huge deal, but it just is very satisfying to look at and just very satisfying to hold. But it has a 12 South logo here on the side, which obviously you see if you turn here, it's just a 12. And I don't think it's terribly distracting. I think it actually adds a little bit of contrast to the front of this so it's not just a white blob. Then we have a little light here. So you see this a lot on battery banks, like if you have a portable charger or something like that, and they light up for different reasons. So this one lights up when you plug it in. And I really like that because especially while you're traveling, you never know if a plug is working or not. It's like sometimes you'll hotel, Airbnb, or hostel or something like that, there'll be a broken plug and you're like, is my cable broken? Is my power bank broken? Is my phone broken? So you know that when this is plugged in, you're getting juice from the prongs here. So that's a nice inclusion, and it is a white light, which I dig as well. So if you have a plug that's right near your face while you're sleeping, and it's green or orange or blue or something like that, it is a little more distracting than just a nice soft white light. And it blends in nicely with the matte white overall on this little charger. So the plugs pop out here, or the prongs I should say pop out here. And as you can see there, they just protrude a tiny bit from the top. So I've had more like hardware tools in the past where you kind of have to like use your nail to pop them out. But it's nice with this is you can literally just like run your finger across and it pops out. And then once it's down here, it locks in place and you can just pop it back like that. I really like how that works, and there's no like using your nail or like that. I hate that noise when like you use your nail and it like makes that clipping noise. So just very overall a satisfying product to use. On the bottom here, we have the USB-C female port. There's only USB-C available. There's no USB-C-A, at least at the time of recording this. And I think that that's mainly due to the form factor here. If you were to have a USB-A here, it just really would take up almost the entire bottom here, and I just don't know the logistics of that. So if you are someone who still uses USB-A quite a bit, you would have to update your cables. I suppose you could convert it, but that would just seem a little bit over the top. But if you have USB-C cables already, it's a great shout to use this because it has a USB-C output, and I think that lends to the form factor. It's great in small places though, because as you can see, it's very like long and skinny. So if you have a plug behind your desk and you don't want your desk to be like removed from the wall to plug the thing in, you can really just plug it in and then it's kind of flush with the wall. Not flush, obviously you have about a little bit under an inch there, but it just fits in places that other plugs don't normally fit. Like a lot of times in a hotel, you'll have one of the main plugs will be behind the TV stand so the TV can plug in. And then you like have to get way back there to plug this in, and maybe the TV stand has to be moved because your plug is protruding. But this is really small form factor, so that is not an issue. But one thing an issue that this does present is if you're using like a power strip or something like that, this has to be in the last place on the power strip, because if it's not, it's going to cover up at least one, maybe two plugs because of where the prongs are. And also, if you're using a wall outlet and there's something plugged into the bottom, and it's just like it can cover up plugs basically is what I'm trying to say. I don't want to be too wordy with it, but overall it works very well. So when it comes to packability, I think this thing is roughly the same surface area as you'd see with like a standard charging brick, but because it is like long and skinny and has this kind of odd footprint, it fits into places nicer than a big power brick would. So sometimes when you have like a big power brick and you put it into a liner pocket on a sling or a day pack, it just kind of monopolizes that space and like juts out of the pocket because it is so like wide. But with this, you can kind of just slide it in nicely and it just fits in there and it doesn't bulge out or anything like that. And when you go to hold this, I know it isn't very practical to like walk around with this in your hand, and you probably would never do that, but the rounded edges make it very satisfying to hold. And it looks kind of like vape-like. I don't know very much about vapes, but when I first got it, I was like, that looks like a vape. But it really does fit wherever you want it to fit. Like you can put it in your pants pocket with no issue. If you want to leave it in your glove box or somewhere in your car, it doesn't take up a bunch of room. And it really just does that little bit different form factor, makes it slide into places that much easier. So this is the Anker Nano 2 65-watt charger. And as the name denotes, it is a 65-watt charger, which makes it very different than the 20 watts of the PlugBug Slim, but it is one of our favorite and most recommended wall chargers, so we thought it was a good thing to compare it to. So first things first, you can see that obviously it's like a standard brick, and it actually weighs 4.13 ounces, which is about 117 grams, whereas the PlugBug here is 1.59 ounces or 45.1 grams. So this is literally less than half the weight. So if you're really worried about saving weight, you're gonna save weight with this one. And also that lightness makes it so like if you have a plug that an outlet that plugs off or chargers often fall out of, this one's so light it really doesn't fall out. I didn't have any issues with that with a wall outlet that typically does that at home, but this one always falls out. I use this to charge my laptop at home, and this one almost always falls out of that specific outlet that is known to have them fall out. So this one obviously doesn't really fit into the palm of your hand very nicely if you needed to do that, or if you needed to put it in your pocket or something like that. It just doesn't fit as well, and it really makes like a liner pocket bulge out, especially if you have like a sling or something like that. Like it's just gonna kind of be in the way. But at the end of the day, this does have the capability to charge your laptop. It can fast charge your phone. But if you don't need those capabilities and you're looking to save space, the PlugBug Slim saves that space and just does a great job at charging smaller devices like a phone. So there you have it, the 12 South PlugBug Slim. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.